Alright, welcome back. This is MDawg. And someone in my chat the other day said, it might have been just Renzi. It might have been somebody else. I apologize. I should have written it down. But somebody was like, hey, you should make a video and use some of the equipment you get for the anniversary task. So I thought at least on this first one, you let me know if you like it, because there is one more thing I could do. A couple more things I could do, actually. So this first one, I think I'm going to use the 2017 Pelengas reel along with the rod Tama victory. So these two things kind of go together naturally, although the rod is way stronger than the reel, but they're both like vintage. This is what they look like. And I think it's kind of cool, right? It's just a light setup, basically. And why not come fish at Belaya? Seemed like it makes sense. I was between this and Tunguska, something like that. It's just a light setup. I thought we could try a couple spots here, see if we can find. I don't know how good Belaya's been lately, to be honest, but let's just try it out. So this is what we're using. Let's just go ahead and cast it a couple times, and then I'll kind of show you the specs of it. I don't even know how far it's going to cast. I haven't even used it yet. This is just first time for me, first time for you, first time for all of us. Apparently it's happy hour, so that's interesting. So we're just going to do a straight retrieval here with a little bit of speed up every once in a while. We absolutely casted a country mile, and here's our first fish. Probably don't need to do the full cast. Is that a little chub? You know, I don't know. In my leveling series, I actually brought the that account up here, and we fished up here, and I remember we hooked into that nasty asp that gave that starter set a real run for its money. I think I was fishing like somewhere over here. Let's just see if we can hook into a decent asp or something. Take this equipment out for a real stroll before it gets any later in the morning. Let's see, what do we have here? This actually might be a small asp. It's amazing how active the asp seem to be at Belaya right now. Like, I don't know what's going on, but they are certainly biting right now. I mean, you can get chub and grayling some. I saw somebody had a pretty decent brown trout, but what I'm hearing a lot of people talk about if they try to spin fish at Belaya is getting wrecked by these asp. This is definitely like a throwback rod and reel that we're using. Obviously, it's a light spinning rod with I think a 2000 series reel. And once we've tried to catch a couple fish, I will let you look a little more closely at what the specs are. Now that's interesting. That fish hit it just like right there on the drop. And once again, no, actually that might be a brown trout, huh? Yeah, that's a brown trout. Very small one. Striker 218s always provides a fish or two here at Belaya. Even when a different lure might seem like it's the best one, you can still use, ooh, right at the last second that chub just hit it. You can still use the Spiker 218. Let's see here. Trying to think about which ones I've heard have been doing good lately. I think the 17 actually has also been doing good. Just see what's out of stock. Oh, the red one as well. We went over this during the, again, during that same episode when I came here and fished on the leveling series. I'll cast the red one after this. I forgot about that. And then we'll go back to that spot at spawn, see if we catch anything there. I was just trying to cast it a few times, see if we could hook into something somewhat decent, and then I'll show you how I set it up. If you end up completing the tasks, both the free-to-play as well as the premium task, you'll have this rod and reel that you can put together. This rod actually you could theoretically put a much more expensive reel with this rod and still be okay, I think. But, ooh, I can't remember if it was the 10 or the 9. Maybe the 10. Let's try that one. But this reel will work just fine, especially for this kind of fishing. Something popped on there. Oh, it's a little perch. All right, let's cast farther down. Let's cast farther down one time before we do anything else. We're casting so much further than I am with the starter stuff. It's a nice little setup. Ooh, yeah. All right. What's that, a little grayling? Yeah, look at that. It's our first marker fish, I think. That's a chubby little grayling. I love it. 1 kilo just about. All right, let's go right back to that same spot. Another little brown trout. Love to see it. So let's go cast a couple times where we started at, just sort of right here near spawn. This is just a, you know, fairly decent spot. It's not always active, I guess, but a lot of times it is. You know, one thing I did want to do, and we'll wait, and I want to get a couple more casts in before it gets too late, but I was just sitting here thinking about like the similarities of these two setups. One's like an old school spinning setup, and one is a very, very new modern casting setup, but both very good in their own right. And the other setup has definitely been like my favorite light setup. And I'm just excited that this this setup that we got from the challenges is just another option for a fun little light setup. Whether maybe you don't want to go like full ultralight at a place like here at Belaya, or in the Tunguska little side river, side creek, or you know, other spots too. Maybe you want to try to fish for char. I mean, there's all kind of stuff you can do with light setups, right? But just nice to have a couple of nice light setups. You know, you could get, at least with this setup, not the rod, but if you're thinking about the reel and how much power we've got, you certainly could duplicate this, maybe even get stronger with a ultralight setup. Now it's going to get expensive, but this is actually similar strength to sort of your average ultralight setup, just thinking about this reel and the way I have this whole setup working right now. But like I said in the beginning, this rod actually does allow for a lot more power if you want to put a different reel on there. But I had to just use the one that came with the challenges. I think they look really cool together. Very old school. All right, if we don't catch something here, I think I will just wow. Congratulations, Paul Ninja, who just caught a rare trophy F1. That is amazing. It's not, wait. Are we saying that's their second one? 4.184? That's their second one. They've had two rare. That's amazing. Sorry, I just had to stop and just like think about that. That's actually amazing. Okay, let's look at these setups really quick so I can... Oh wait, I was going to do one more cast, wasn't I? I wanted to cast the... Since we've got a little bit of like overcast here, let's just cast the 16 one time. Immediately we get a bite. Is that a little brown trout? The fish at Belaya are not completely asleep. You know, the problem is I just, on that leveling series, like I just can't get it cast that far to actually hit some of these spots. At least not with the setup I'm using. And I don't know if it's quite... You know, sometimes Belaya is absolutely going off. I'm not sure that it is that right now, but it's also not terrible. Kind of an in-between spot. There's another decent grayling. I'm impressed that we are catching some fish here. It's not just that spot down up to the northern end. We're catching some different species here as well. And perhaps less asp invading in this spot compared to the other one. Okay, before we wrap this up, let's do this quick comparison. So, here's what we've been using. The Tama Victory S F7OL. And this is a light spinning rod. It's got fast action. It goes up to 10 kilo of test. So this is the lure weight, 2 to 10. So this is the difference in a light setup versus an ultralight. An ultralight setup, you're likely going to have a test maxing out at 4.5, 5 kilo, whatever. Sorry, grams, not kilos. But here with a light, you go up way to 10. So you can use something like this, like the spiker, but you can also use a little bit bigger lure than that too. 2.1 meters long. Look at this load capacity. 18.3. And that's what I'm saying. You could actually get a lot more power on this thing than what I'm doing right now. The restriction is, though, with it being light, is that you can only go spinning reels 1,000 or 2,000. you're going to get a plus 50% bonus to XP, which is nice. So we threw on this 2017 throwback reel. Again, both of these pieces of gear were from the challenges that are going on right now. So this has a max drag of 5.9. Now, before you ask me what the mech weight is, I have no idea. I don't know, and I'm not even sweating it. I have no idea. So I went ahead and put 5.9 line. Actually put 6 kilo leader, which is not quite right because you want your leader to be slightly less than your line. But I'm also not going to be max dragging this, so no worries. I just won't put this up to max. And of course we're using a spiker here. So that's that light setup. Now the light setup that I have always used or typically used in the past is this. It's the Vexilar. And this is a casting light rod. This test only goes up to 8.75, so not quite as much freedom as the other one. The load capacity is 17.1, so once again, a very strong light rod. Very nice rods, both of them. And this reel, if you don't recognize this reel, this is from the New Year's Fair. In my opinion, it's one of the best values in the New Year's Fair. The cost of this reel is very low compared to a similar 2000 level casting reel in the shop. You're getting 8.6 max drag on this one. This one is a little bit stronger than the spinning reel we got from the challenges. And it looks like I was trolling with this somewhere. I've got this 7 centimeter, 4.8 gram original minnow. I bet I was trolling this at Corey when we were trying to work on challenges at Corey. That would be my guess. We probably threw different lures on there, just trying different things. But anyway, this is my, for a long time now, this has been my, favorite light setup. If I didn't want to fully go ultralight, or just because I love using this, this Minister, this little reel. But again, it's nice to have a little competition, to have a backup light setup, and this one's a spinning one, where the one I'm holding now is casting. Nice to have this this new option that, of course, is a light spinning setup. So anyway, hope you've enjoyed this. I just thought it'd be a fun little chill thing to do, to make a video like this. If you want to see another one, if you want to see a part 2, the other things we could look at. We could do a little float fishing just for fun with the Onega crystal pole. Or we could pull out the Natura 8000 Super 7 and put it through its paces on a carp or something. It's an 8000, so we couldn't do it at copper. But we could use it at bear, it would make sense at bear. So again, if you like this, or if you want to see more, we can maybe do a part 2, but we don't have to as well. And in case you get confused, the best prize in all of the challenges is, of course, the 7-year lamp. Nothing like having a new light in the game. Gotta love it. As always, thanks for watching. Hope you are doing well and enjoying your anniversary tasks. If you haven't completed them yet, maybe this will either inspire you or it will convince you that you're good. But either way, tight lines, and I wish you the best. See you next time.